Investigation Day 3. The purpose of this voice log is to serve as a record of my activities here, separate from my official reports to Wardenclyffe Section HQ. I find this place to be much like our own world, except everything is in ruins. It's known as Dite, a name borrowed from a city in hell that appeared in Dante's The Divine Comedy. Personally, I don't believe in hell. But if it did exist, I imagine it'd look a lot like this. I'm Chloe Dubois, a researcher assigned to Wardenclyffe Section and member of the Caron Corps, which was formed to investigate this world. For those of you that slept through your college lit class, Caron is also taken from Dante's seminal work. He's the ferryman who carries departed souls across the river to the afterlife. It was Good Luck who came up with both names. Good Luck was always a fan of Dante's works, but I never cared for such flights of fancy. Although I respect him immensely, I don't understand his interest in such unscientific pursuits. Anyway, back to the topic at hand. My role in the Corps is focused on research, but I have also been given authority over this particular investigation. I guess you could say I'm something of this squad leader. My father invested heavily in this project, which played no small part in my assignment for sure, but we need not get into that. Even though I am technically the leader, the base camp facility is actually managed by Virgil 89, an artificial intelligence developed by Good Luck himself. Apparently, she is responsible for communications, data analysis, and facility operations. She uses the instruments we carry on us to manage the data we gather in regards to our experiments, as well as the collection of the Cuban energy necessary for control.
Your life has dropped. Your life is dangerously low. However you do it, please heal yourself quickly.
It's almost as if his mind alone is centuries ahead of us. Perhaps the most interesting thing is that Virgil's responses to our queries are strangely human-like. She speaks in a solemn tone and has a tendency to be rather rigid at times. But she also possesses a keen sense of humor that I never had. It boggles the mind to think how many people were used as reference points to develop their personality and character. At any rate, I should be able to work towards my objective starting tomorrow. I am here to research wormhole-related technology, as well as investigate the Wanderer's ecology. One of the main objectives of my research is to find a way for us to manually control these wormholes. There is a material in this world known as Cuban energy, which we believe is essential to controlling wormholes. As such, we must harvest as much of it as possible. If we can eventually perfect this technology, we will be able to instantly transport objects anywhere on the planet. Indeed, we may finally be able to realize the world system that Nikola Tesla proposed so long ago. However, the technology is incomplete, and opinions as to its viability vary widely within our section. I understand Good Luck's belief that we should proceed with caution, but as a scientist, it's impossible for me to ignore the new possibilities that will be open to us. I managed to overcome Good Luck's personal objections and be assigned to the team in order to continue my wormhole research on the cutting edge of the field. I figured that if I didn't, I would never be able to catch up with him. It is my desire to be the one to finally find that which has managed to elude Good Luck for so long. I am recording this while observing the Wanderers from a distance. They are strange creatures, seemingly able to continue communicating even after losing their heads. I will never get used to it, no matter how many times I see it. Since we launched our investigation, the cameras in our drones have spotted numerous human-like metallic crystalline life forms. Basically, they are the organisms referred to as Wanderers by Wardenclyffe section. Although we know that Wanderers are strange and unique organisms that take human hosts, we are yet to find any humans not already infested. Wanderers apparently got their name from their tendency to wander aimlessly about Dite until they come into contact with us. At present, the only thing we know about them is they are extremely sensitive to sound. Most Wanderers have poorly developed eyesight, but have offset that with hypersensitive hearing. Still, there is much that we do not know about their ecology. Naturally, we plan to continue our research until all of these questions are answered. Investigation Day 31. Our communications with headquarters have been unstable lately. It appears to be due to excessive wear on our communications equipment. We are consulting with the tech team as to the feasibility of procuring replacement parts. Failing that, we are likely to lose communications completely at some point. On the other hand, our research into the Wanderers' ecology is proceeding quite well. One thing we learned is that they seem to possess a shared consciousness. That would definitely explain everything we observed so far. This was one of our most recent discoveries. We captured one and tried to take it back with us, but other nearby Wanderers immediately began to converge on us, almost as if our prisoner had given off some kind of distress signal. As a result, we were able to come up with a hypothesis regarding this shared consciousness. The crystalline structures within the Wanderers' bodies appear to be made of Kuban energy. We've theorized that they use such energy to communicate with each other in a manner similar to the wormhole technology. With this hypothesis in mind, I would like to continue our investigation. There is one more thing I must mention. We have determined that the crystalline structures on the Wanderers' backs envelop the human brain at the point of contact and then solidify there. It may be that by destroying these crystals, we can stop the Wanderers from functioning. According to the research team, the most effective way of dealing with the Wanderers is to sneak up behind them and destroy the crystalline structure with a knife. I suppose, like any other living organism, they cannot function without a brain. It has been 10 days since we lost pretty much all communications with headquarters. We have no timetable for the necessary repairs, so, on my authority, the Karen Corps is continuing its research. Unfortunately, there is data we need from headquarters, which means our research has basically come to a standstill. At any rate, I suppose I should record the latest developments in our investigation. First, we detected a response to Kuban energy from the dust around the base camp. If we can continue our research, we may be able to harvest Kuban energy from it. We have also found areas rich in Kuban crystals, so our efforts to harvest Kuban energy, as well as increase production of devices that utilize it, look promising. We should be able to obtain all we need that way. As for the Wanderers, our current concern is their relationship with the dust. Since we've detected Kuban energy within both of them, there definitely seems to be some sort of connection. When humans who have become Wanderers absorb the dust, perhaps the Kuban energy therein crystallizes within their bodies. We'll need to study this possibility in more detail. At any rate, we finally found a much more effective way of obtaining Kuban energy than directly harvesting it from the Wanderers. This is a major advance. While the proposed devices that utilize Kuban energy have their uses, the wormhole transporter is the one that fascinates me the most. A functioning transporter would greatly expand the scope and reach of our research team. We also need to accelerate our deployment of the skilled trainer, which has been stuck in the inspection phase. But I still do not understand how Good Luck ever conceived such devices. The ability to instantly transport matter or physically enhance the human body. That sounds like science fiction. Furthermore, they were both developed in such a short time, despite the fact that they use Kuban energy, an energy source we know almost nothing about. I am beginning to wonder, will I ever be able to match his talent? It has been 5 days since we lost all communications with headquarters. Furthermore, we've lost a considerable number of people to the Wanderers. And the Wanderers are not our only problem. We're beginning to run low on food as well. Fortunately, some of our members have had some luck hunting sheep and goats. So we do have enough food to last at least a little longer. However, it's unlikely that we will be able to secure enough food on a daily basis for all of the Garan Corps. This has forced me to make an important decision. Continue our research, or abandon it and pull out. Yet, I know that if we go back now, it will be some time again before we are ever able to return. No, it is more likely that we would never make it back here again. Our research data is still lacking. If we give up now, without anything substantial to show for it, all of our work here will have been for nothing. I know I should make a prompt decision, but it is not an easy one.
Okay, preparations are complete. My name is Enrique. I'm a communications officer for the Karen Corps, which has been tasked with investigating the world known as Dite. It's my duty to keep a log of our unit's activities and report back to headquarters on a regular basis. I'll start by introducing our team. The Karen Corps is made up of 121 members. There are a number of researchers and engineers involved with the wormholes, as well as various other specialists here to investigate this world. And of course, there are a few corporate suits from our illustrious sponsor. Along with them, we have a medical team in case of emergencies and an active unit to carry out the research and exploration on the front lines. Basically, the active unit is filled with military types, and they're also assigned to protect the numerous civilians on our team. Us communications officers are also members of this special unit. Finally, I guess you could consider the final member of the group to be our highly advanced support AI. I was also a radio operator back in Vietnam, but the survival skills I showed there helped earn me a spot on this mission. I was told I'd be serving my country and would be rewarded beyond my wildest dreams. Who could turn down an offer like that, huh? Anyway, enough talk about money. Back to our squad members. No two are alike, which at least makes things interesting around here. And you'd be surprised how many cute little honeys there are on the engineering team. There's this one girl named Chloe. She's a little older than I like 'em, but out here, I'll take what I can get if you know what I mean. I thought I was gonna be surrounded by a bunch of dudes on this trip, but now it looks like I've got a paid vacation to explore the great unknown with a fine-looking woman. Anyway, moving on. I suppose I should give my impressions about this world. The first thing we came across here were the ruined buildings. There were various vehicles strewn about here and there. Basically, it all looked like the kind of stuff you'd see back home. I heard this was some kind of parallel world to our own, but it pretty much looked and felt like Earth. If I had to state a difference, I suppose it'd have to be the fog. It's like the thickest I've ever seen. We found an area untouched by the fog and are building a base camp here in order to conduct our mission on this world. Thankfully, the materials we need for the various facilities are already here and the construction is proceeding smoothly. So I guess it's only a matter of time before we can start exploring this world and reporting our findings back to HQ. That's it for now. I'd like to go over the mission that has been assigned to the Karen Corps. Basically, our squad received the mission at the request of a certain organization. The aim of this organization is to establish viable wormhole technology. So the purpose of this mission is to recover Kuban energy and carry out research on the world of Dite and its inhabitants, which are known as Wanderers. In addition to that, my unit's also been tasked with eliminating any threats posed by said Wanderers. However, there's no doubt there's more to this mission than what most of us have been told. The space race has lost considerable steam lately, leading many to believe that the US and the Soviet Union will engage in joint experiments in the near future. Naturally, the US is hoping to take the leading role in any such developments. If America can perfect the wormhole technology first, it'll be in prime position to take the lead. That has caused some people to get rather worked up, and the usual conspiracy theories abound. Then again, where there's smoke... Plus, I've got my own theory as to what's going on. Hear me out. With the ink on the Biological Weapons Convention barely dry, this serves as a sort of loophole that could allow a nation to do an end run around the treaty in order to obtain a new type of biological weapon. If a country could somehow manage to control the wanderers that inhabit this world, I wouldn't put it past some of those SOBs among the top brass. Under the veil of total secrecy, I've been given a special assignment. I was ordered to capture a wanderer alive and take it back to our world. See? I told you something was going on here. What we originally thought was fog upon arriving on this world is actually made up of minute particles and is apparently better referred to as dust. It's difficult to see through this dust, and it also makes it difficult to breathe properly. It goes without saying that you don't want to be exposed to it for too long. You need an air tank if you're going to be out there working in it, but... well, that's enough about this particular topic, I think. There's something much more important to discuss. To put it frankly, our unit is rapidly falling apart. It's like there is absolutely no leadership at the top. I'm not exactly sure what the top brass were thinking when they put this crew together. It's clear this has all come about because we were never given a clear definition of our mission priorities. Some people focus on eliminating wanderers, while others think it is more important to protect the survivors and secure materials for our research. To make matters even worse, we're essentially forced to serve two different masters. There's Section HQ, and then there's the group responsible for actually funding the expedition. It seems there is always some kind of struggle going on between the people in charge. Me and some others constantly try to intervene, but it's just like adding fuel to the fire. It's as if we're all kids back in high school. I don't know what's gonna become of us. That being said, there is one man here that we can depend on. As far as I can tell, he's the only one who looks at a situation with a level head and can decide on a rational course of action to take. He joined the squad as an engineer, but he really knows what he's doing out there in the field. It might be good to work alongside him for a while and see what we can accomplish together. Maybe I can get him to help me restore order to the team as well. There's just one problem. He's not exactly the chatty type. In fact, he barely says a word. Tragedy struck our team. There was nothing that could be done. A man was badly injured after being attacked by wanderers out in the dust. However, the air tanks of the other members were depleted and they had no choice but to return to base. Even worse, we're unable to contact HQ at this time, so there's even more confusion than usual around here. This won't be the last of the casualties if we continue with our mission. The mission and that secret task that I was assigned. Capture a wanderer and return it to our world. Is that really something we should even consider? Taking one of those things back with us? There's so many of them. Probably more than we can even count. We've got no idea how they reproduce either. If left unchecked, they could just keep on spawning for eternity. Aside from that, there's something else that keeps me up at night. I really don't know how to say it, so here it is. I saw some kind of giant creature. It happened when I was out on patrol. I came across it completely by chance. This thing was so big and terrifying that it made all of these other creatures look harmless in comparison. The wormhole has brought all kinds of things to D-Day. I imagine this thing is no different. Whatever the case, if it ever decides to attack us, there's not much we can do. I quickly returned to base camp and reported the matter to my captain. Then I took a group of men and led them to where I saw the creature. However, it was nowhere to be found. My captain said that my visibility was reduced by the dust and it must have been a rock or a mountain or something. But I know what I saw. It's out there somewhere. And I know it's only a matter of time before it attacks. At any rate, we need Chloe to get that device up and running ASAP. If what they say is true, it will at least make things somewhat easier for the squad.
Pay attention to your stamina. You should rest before you're out of gas.
It came for us at last. It happened during a field test of the transporter that Chloe and the rest of her team had set up. If it worked, we'd be able to expand our search grid, making all of our jobs that much easier. At least, that's what we thought as we all went about our work. However, when the time came, that giant creature appeared right before our eyes. It had multiple legs, each striking the ground with fury as the beast slowly approached. It was just like what I had seen before. I knew it was no hill or mountain. The creature attacked us without mercy. It wasn't something you could just take down with a rifle or two. We had no choice but to flee. I simply kept running, all the while ignoring my comrades' screams. For those of us that managed to escape, we eventually came across some ruins. Although they were covered with a thick layer of dust, we needed to find a place to rest. So we went inside. You could have cut the tension with a knife, but for whatever reason, the creature refused to follow us inside. I can still feel my heart pounding just thinking about it. I can't shake that sense of fear and dread. If I never see that horrible creature again, it'll be too soon. That thing is like the Grim Reaper incarnate. We call it the Lord of Dust because it seems to rule over all that stands before it.
Keep an eye on your remaining oxygen.
Name at some point and it just kind of stuck.
Captain,
I guess the way
supply
it's
yourself with
God
oxygen
majestically
by using
strides
Kuban
through the dust
energy.
is kind of lordly in its own way.
You can supply yourself with oxygen from your iDroid.
There's one other thing that I must include in my report. After we escaped from the Lord of Dust, I found a strange journal amid the ruins. It must have been left behind by some castaway. One passage in particular caught my eye. It's all my fault. I wish I could take back that decision. If only we could go back to the beginning. Does that make any sense to you? Because I can't make heads or tails of it. Maybe it was the last thought that person ever had on this world.